Hello, I'm Maria from feisty-tapas.com, and today we're going to be pressure cooking a turkey crown just in time for Christmas. Pressure cooking turkey crown is a really handy way of getting your Christmas day started with minimum hassle. You can pop it in the oven afterwards to crisp up, but today we're going to use the Pro Crisp. This will be my first time using the air fryer lid, which we are going to use at the end. First, we're going to pressure cook the turkey crown with the normal lid, and then we're going to crisp it up by air frying it with the air fryer lid. I've not used the air fryer lid on this one yet. It's my first use of it. It's in fact the first thing I'm cooking in the Pro Crisp. I'm presuming it's very similar to what I'm used to, so we will see. This is a really good way of cooking turkey crown because it basically stays very moist. So it means that you don't have to worry if it dries out in the oven. It can stay and keep warm for a while, because goodness knows that Christmas Day never runs to plan. It's impossible to stick to timings. So if your turkey crown is cooked and don't keep warm, and then you just need to crisp it up at the end before serving, that's it. Also means that because it's already kept warm, and that's the main thing to cook on the day, you can work all the other timings around that. Just make sure that your vegetables and your stuffing are ready more or less at the same time. For example, if you have more than one Instant Pot and you also have an air fryer, you can do stuffing in the air fryer and just leave it there to stay a little bit warm, because it's sealed there, it will stay warm. You can also do your potatoes and your parsnips in a crisp like this one, and it could be that while your turkey crown is resting, you're quickly doing the pressure cooking the parsnips first and the potatoes, and then roasting them with the lid. Now this is where it pays to have more than one multi-cooker. My Instant Pots all come out to play on Christmas Day when my daughter is with me. This year she won't be, so it will be unboxing day probably. And I just have everything running at the same time, and it's such a chilled out way of cooking, because I know I can set a delay start on most things, like the vegetables. I can prepare the vegetables and make sure that they are finished steaming when I need them. So I just set a delay start on them, because otherwise what tends to happen, I prepare them and then they never get cooked. Now, today we're just going to focus on the turkey crown. It's so easy, you're going to be surprised. So what I'm going to do today is give you a very basic recipe to cook your turkey crown. Then it's up to you what flavors you add. I'm going to give you something that will work really well, and then we're going to cover it in bacon slices, stringy bacon, before crisping it up. Now, you don't have to do that. Last year I didn't cover it in bacon before crisping it up, and it was still delicious. So my turkey crown, it was frozen. I had it defrosting, I think it was 48 hours in the end. Don't forget to take it out. That is one thing that I won't let you cook it from frozen. This thing is big, it's solid, you need to cook it from chilled. So don't forget to take it out of the freezer. It's a frozen one, a supermarket one. This is in particular is Aldi. I bought it for the purposes of this. So it works perfectly. I've been buying them for the last few years. This is a 2.2 kilo one. So I'm going to give you a few timings. Because this one is 2.2 kilos, I'm going to pressure cook it for 42 minutes. If it was 2.1, I would pressure cook it for 40 minutes. If it was 2 kilos, 39 minutes. 1.9 kilos, 37 minutes. Very easy to calculate when you know that, right? No maths required. Just keep going up and down in 2-minute increments. So if it was 1.8 kilos, I would do 35 minutes. If it was 2.4 kilos, I would do 44 minutes. Just keep going up and down in 2-minute increments. That's all you need to know. It's as easy as that. Right, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to pressure cook a turkey crown. Let's dive in. So we're going to use the trivet. We're going to put the turkey crown on the trivet. This is going to make it easier to take out later. Now, you can sit it on a bed of vegetables if you wanted to. So you could have onions in there and carrots and garlic. Go for your life with that kind of stuff. Often if you have stuff that needs juicing up, do it. Just create a bed with vegetables and then you don't need a trivet. Now, one reason to have a trivet still would be for ease of taking the turkey crown out. Because I'm using the 8 liters, I wouldn't need to do that. But today, I'm not going to add anything else. One thing I would add perhaps to this basic mix, now that I'm thinking about it, is garlic cloves. Whole garlic cloves. You have to make sure that your turkey crown fits in your Instant Pots or your Ninjas or your multi-cookers inner pot. Now that is going to be important. I would recommend, if you're really not sure, take a tape measure with you, having measured your inner pot at home, or take the inner pot with you to the supermarket. Why not? 500 milliliters of water, 1 rather heaped tablespoon of my vegetable stock paste, 5 cloves, 5 grams of porcini mushrooms. They're going to add a really nice taste, the porcini mushrooms. It's the first time I add them, but I've been adding them to a lot of dishes this year, and so I'm doing it. Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon. You could also use mixed herbs. A few peppercorns. And a few bay leaves. I've got 3. If it was all this size, I would use 4. This is just to infuse flavor. Let's put them in. We're going to give it a good stir. Now, we're keeping the turkey crown very simple. You could also put butter underneath the skin. You could do all sorts. When it comes to turkey crowns, your options are endless. Just go with what your family likes. So, now we just have to put the trivet in place, and now the turkey goes on top. Carefully, because it's slippery, we place it on top. Remember to always wash your hands after touching raw meat. You could add some salt, let's put tongs. You could add some black pepper. Well, this is mixed pepper. Now all there is left to do is put the pressure cooker lid on and pressure cook. This is a self-sealing lid, so I don't need to seal the vent, but make sure it's set to sealing if you have a different multi-cooker that does not have a self-sealing lid. Turn it on. And because it's a 2.2 kilo turkey crown, I'm going to program 42 minutes. Make sure you refer to my guide for the weight of your turkey crown. So we're going to press pressure cook. It's set to 5 minutes because I'm doing the water test. So I'm going to turn this to 42 minutes and press start. I'm pressing start because of course this one has a start button. It might be that yours doesn't, so no need. So at the end of pressure cooking time, we're going to do a natural pressure release. That means doing nothing. Isn't that ideal for Christmas Day? We're going to leave keep warm enabled, so it goes to keep warm for us. So we're just going to let it cook. Don't forget, at the beginning, it won't make any noises, but it will be on. As long as it says on the screen, or whatever your cooker says, is cooking. The things are virtually silent, so don't worry. Soon, you will see steam coming out of the vent. And the flow bath will go up and the lid will lock and the pressure cooking countdown will start. So do not panic if you're new to pressure cooking with a multi-cooker like this and there's no noise at the beginning, because I know a lot of you get this as a gift for Christmas. I want to use it straight away, and so it can be a little bit confusing at the beginning. If you do, try to do the water test first, but this is a good first recipe, to be honest, for Christmas Day. Now we're going to finish this one with the air fryer lid, but if it fits in your air fryer, you could also finish it there, don't forget. It has reached pressure. That means that now it's trying to find the right internal temperature, and soon the countdown will start. There will be a little delay between it reaching pressure and the countdown starting. As you can see, the pressure cooking countdown has finished, and now it's on to keep warm. We're going to leave it on keep warm for at least 15 minutes always. Let's see how long it takes for the float valve to calm down. It has done a full natural pressure release, which means the float valve is down. Don't forget, when the float valve is up, the lid is locked. Never ever force a locked lid, ever. It took 20 minutes from the end of pressure cooking time to the float valve going down. So that was a natural pressure release was 20 minutes. So you can factor that very easily into your timings. Don't forget, it can go into keep warm for quite a while without drying out. As long as you don't touch the lid, it's basically surrounded by steam inside. So now we can open it and see what's inside. It looks delicious. It smells really good. So, with the lid now off, yes, you can hook up the lid there. Just remember, it's not on a hinge. Always lift it up and down. And make sure everyone in your household or any visitors know that. So now what we're going to do is take the turkey crown out and empty the inner pot so we can brown it. To lift it up, protect your hands and take it out. This is why it's handy to have the trivet. Press cancel. So the next stage is to air fry. We have the turkey crown out, we have some bacon slices, but we still have a pot full of stock. So we're going to reserve that. The great thing about this inner pot is the handles, and so all we have to do is grab it. We're going to reserve all the liquid as it is for now. We can make a gravy with these, we can do it on saute with lots of wine. Keep the porcini as well, because we might want to blend them into the sauce, or they will be really nice as they are as part of the gravy. So we're keeping everything. We will discard the bay leaf. We're going to give the inner pot a quick rinse, okay? Make sure that you dry the outside of the inner pot really well every time, okay? Because the element, and underneath the element, that's the heat element, underneath the heat element is actually open, so there's a gap. So any liquid can go in there. So also the clacking sound that you hear sometimes, you can hear your instant pot go clack, clack, clack as it reaches pressure. Sometimes that is liquid that you left behind on the outside of the inner pot. Back in place. Now all we have to do is place the bacon on the turkey crown. Now I start at the middle. You could crisscross this. I have 12 slices, so I think I have plenty of space now. Bacon adds flavor. I'm doing it like this so I can crisscross it. Hopefully, anyway. I'm not the best when it comes to doing pretty things, I'll be honest. We want to cover everything as much as we can because it's going to add flavor. It will all shrink a bit as it air fries. All we have to do now is place it inside the inner pot. We're going to remove the cooking lid and we're going to swap it for this one, which is the air frying lid. Get it off the cover. Place it on. I've not used this one yet. You can hear it beeping. So it's told us it's in the right place. Get this ready like this, because we're going to put the hot air fryer lid there later. We're going to do roast or grill. I say, actually, let's go for grill. Do you know why? Because we just want to do the top. Our turkey crown is already done. Now, this has a very high temperature. This is one of the differences between the Pro and the normal crisp. The normal crisp goes up to 204. This one goes up to 232. It's a big difference. So we're going to do it at 6 minutes, but we're going to check halfway because this should go pretty quickly. And stop. So it has done the preheating phase and now it's cooking. The countdown has started. It's counting down 2 minutes already. It's now down to 4 minutes and it smells so good. We're going to check it a bit and see how it's doing. I also want you to see that when you lift up the air fryer lid, all it does is pause and then continues. It's really fast so far and it doesn't make that much noise. As you can see, there is a little symbol here telling us it's air frying. It's using the lid, found the lid, so it's using the air frying lid. What I find confusing is there's not enough gap here between the countdown and the temperature. So it feels like it's just a bunch of numbers if you're looking at it without thinking, like I did earlier, because I've not had enough coffee clearly today. So yeah, I would like to see more of a gap here. The countdown has finished. So we're going to take a look and add more time. That's doing really nicely. But we're going to add a bit more time, possibly 6 more minutes to get it super crispy, but we don't want it drying out. So we do the same thing again. 2 minutes to go, so let's have a quick check. Oh, that's looking good. Let's give it the full time. It's beeped to tell us it's finished. Let's check it. Oh, that looks lovely. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to give a little bit longer. Then we're done. Let's do it again. Third time. Another 6 minutes. With 2 minutes to go, we're going to check again. And yes, that's perfect. Absolutely lovely. So what we want to do now is put the lid on the cover, on the hot side, and get our turkey crown out. Press cancel. Now it's time to remove it. Protect your hands as everything will be very hot. One amazing turkey crown. Ta-da! There it is. It looks amazing, doesn't it? I can't wait to dig in. Unfortunately, I have to take a million photos first. I'm very happy how it has turned out. Last year I did a turkey crown just crisping up the skin, no bacon, and it turned out well, so you can do that too. And it will probably take less time than the bacon. If you wanted to crisp up the skin, start with grill at 6 minutes. In this one, which is the Pro Crisp, same on the normal crisp, on broil at maximum temperature for 5 minutes, and just keep adding time and checking. Just check regularly. As you can see, all the lid does is stop. If you don't have a Pro Crisp, pressure cook it and then put it in the oven, in a very hot oven, until it's crisped up. Same if you want to do it with bacon or not. So you have tons of options. It's just a really good way of making Christmas Day a little bit easier. Don't forget that on the website you have all the recipes for Christmas. There's Christmas pudding, which you still have time to make because pressure cooking infuses the flavors into it, so it doesn't require as long of a maturing time. Cranberry sauce, yes, I'm going through them here because I'm tired now. Gammon, how to pressure cook gammon, another really good one for Christmas. You can do it the day before. And then there's also a version to do a gammon, a cranberry glazed gammon in the crisp. So do it all from beginning to end with glaze and everything in it. Parsnips, Brussels sprouts, red cabbage. For those of you with a Thermomix, there's also a recipe for turrón, chocolate turrón, and for Roscón de Reyes, which is typical of the 6th of January. So I do hope you give this a go. It's a really good way of making your Christmas easier. And if it's not for Christmas, it's from Boxing Day. Now, what will you do with the leftovers?